A cave lion slams into a mammoth with overwhelming force, knocking it to the ground, with their prey within reach. The pride immediately shifts into a defensive formation, ready in case the mammoth launches a desperate counterattack. 20,000 years ago, during the late Pleistocene epoch, Earth entered an ice age. Giant mammals adapted to extreme cold, ruled this frozen world. Among the most iconic of them was the woolly mammoth. Mammoths were close relatives of modern elephants. They were covered in thick fur, had smaller ears, and short tails. All of these traits were evolutionary adaptations for surviving brutal cold. Their habitat was also home to predators far more dangerous than today's cave lions. One of them was the saber-toothed cat, with razor-sharp fangs and claws. These hunters were capable of bringing down a mammoth. Left with no better option, the cave lions abandon stealth and launch a direct chase toward the herd. Despite their incredible strength, killing a fully grown mammoth is an enormous challenge. Their true targets are not the adults, but the vulnerable calves within the group. Sans signe danger. The mammoths immediately tighten their formation, placing the young at the center. The cave lions seize the moment and accelerate, trying to cut off the herd's escape. The mammoths react quickly, forming an impenetrable defensive wall. They raise their massive tusks, attempting to intimidate the attackers. But the starving lions refuse to back down, determined not to leave empty-handed. Under relentless pressure, the mammoths launch a desperate charge. This sudden move exposes a weakness in their defense. A young cave lion spots an opening. In a split second, a nearly grown mammoth calf at the rear is knocked to the ground. The other lions rush in, blocking the adults from reaching it. The mammoths circle nearby, but dare not rush forward. They know that once the defensive line collapses, the other calves will be next. Outnumbered and powerless, they watch as their companion's life slowly fades. The mammoths face an unbearable decision. One adult mammoth looks at the fallen calf, its trunk trembling slightly. Realizing the ending cannot be changed, it turns away and continues forward in silence. Its mission is now painfully clear. No matter the cost, it must protect the last surviving calf. The journey ahead is still long. They must cross dangerous land before reaching the safety of distant grasslands. This penguin was much smaller than the other chicks. Because its parents never returned from the sea, it always stood alone at the edge of the group, watching the other chicks snuggle close to their parents. Listening to their gentle whispers, it took a few steps forward, then stopped again. It knew deep down that it had nowhere to go. It had learned to sleep alone, to stand firm against the biting cold by itself. The surrounding noise didn't concern it, and the warmth didn't belong to it. It simply stood there, silently waiting, not even sure what it was waiting for, until the sky darkened and the wind roared. Snow pelted its face with fierce force. At first, it didn't notice, but as the blizzard intensified, the entire world was swallowed in white. The icy wind tried to steal away its last bit of body heat. Out of survival instinct, it moved closer to the others. The wind outside still howled, but here there was warmth. For the first time, it realized that even without blood ties, life could still have warmth. Its consciousness gradually blurred in the heat. It was taken back to a memory from 5 months ago. A penguin egg was being carefully passed along. Raising a chick was extremely difficult, so penguins laid only one egg a year. The mother penguin handed the egg to the father, then set off on a long journey to find food. For the next 2 months, the father penguin didn't eat or drink, surviving only on the fat stored in its body. It had to keep the egg protected between its feet and belly feathers at all times. Until one day, a fine crack appeared on the eggshell. A tiny life was using all its strength to break through its first barrier in this frozen world. Meanwhile, after 2 months of trekking, the mother penguins returned in groups, just in time to provide the chicks with their first meal. The father stood on the icy lake, calling out, his familiar voice cutting through the dense penguin crowd, guiding the mother back to him. The cycle of life was complete in this moment. The father could finally head to the sea to feed, while the mother took the hungry chicks, gently stroking them, offering precious food. The parents began encouraging the chicks to make friends, and the little penguins cleverly mimicked each other's movements. The father ostrich gently turns the eggs, softly calling out to his unborn chicks. But even after a long time, the eggs show no sign of movement. He grows anxious and restless, yet all he can do is keep incubating them patiently. This is the desert, where the blazing sun quickly drives temperatures higher. The newly hatched chicks can barely stand. They soon burrow into their father's feathers to escape the extreme heat. Just then, the mother ostrich returns. She lightly nudges the father, signaling that they should look for a cooler place. But when she spreads her wings, she notices that many eggs still haven't hatched. She changes her mind and decides they should wait until all the eggs hatch before leaving together. As the shadows stretch longer across the sand, the father ostrich is completely exhausted. He keeps yawning, but forces himself to stay awake, because while the night is cooler, it is also full of predators. Suddenly, a fox appears. The exhausted father becomes alert at once. Fortunately, the fox is small, and after seeing the ostrich stand its ground, it quietly slips away. During the night, 3 more chicks break out of their shells. But the father ostrich grows even more worried. The chicks must drink water within 48 hours, or they will die from dehydration, even though he hates to leave the remaining eggs behind. For the sake of the chicks already born, and for the future of the entire family, he makes a painful decision. They leave to search for water. Not long after the ostrich family departs, one last chick hatches from its egg. It wobbles as it stands up, only to realize it's already too late. It can barely keep its balance. Watching its parents disappear into the distance, it feels despair, but it does not give up. It grits its teeth, forces itself upright, and desperately chases after them. As it runs, it lets out faint cries, trying to get its parents' attention. Soon, all its strength is gone. It can only weakly close its eyes, letting out a soft wail as it quietly waits for death. At that moment, the father ostrich seems to hear the call. He follows the sound and turns back. The chick hears approaching footsteps. It lifts its head and sees a figure coming closer. With its last bit of strength, it struggles to its feet and runs toward that figure. At last, on the scorching sand, the little ostrich is reunited with its family. The Amur leopard came across the carcass of a wild deer. Where there's food, there are always other predators lurking. It ate with extreme caution, never taking its eyes off the woods ahead. The crows perched in the trees kept calling, making it even more uneasy. After just a few hurried bites, the leopard was ready to leave. This remote region sits deep in the far east of Siberia. Towering mountains seal it off from the outside world. It's the last refuge for one of the rarest big cats on Earth. When the leopard stepped out of its den, researchers captured its movements with remote cameras. The Amur leopard is a critically endangered species. Fewer than 130 remain worldwide. They're even rarer than giant pandas. In winter, their golden fur grows up to 7 centimeters long. Their paws work like snowshoes, and their thick tail can double as a scarf. Even at 30 degrees below zero, they remain rulers of the frozen wilderness. They mainly live in Russia's far east, parts of Jilin and Heilongjiang in China, and northern North Korea. This leopard must search for food across a territory of nearly 60 square kilometers. It's now March, and the cold is still biting. Only a thin layer of snow covers the ground, and prey is hard to come by. This leopard is smart and highly opportunistic. It pays attention to every sign around it. Crows circle overhead, scouting for food. The leopard follows the direction of their flight, hoping to find something edible. But it's not the only predator here. Deep claw marks, 10 centimeters long, scar the tree across from it. They were left on purpose by a predator twice its size. This land overlaps with the territory of the Siberian tiger. Like the leopard, the tiger is endangered, with fewer than 500 left in the world. They share the same habitat, where food is scarce. Remote cameras show that tigers and leopards often walk the same paths, but the Amur leopard must be especially careful. The Siberian tiger is the largest living cat on the planet. If they ever cross paths, the tiger will kill the leopard without hesitation. High in the mountains, the crows are always the first to spot a carcass. Following their lead, the leopard arrives at the deer. Rather than risk dying here, it chooses to stay alive. It must leave before any other predator shows up. The leopard quickly assesses the situation. Its whole body is tense, scanning every sound and movement. It's nervous, worried that a tiger could appear at any moment. The crow's noisy caws echo through the forest, calling in other predators. Since they share territory, the tiger might hear the commotion too. Those same calls also warn the leopard that danger could be closing in. If it lets hunger cloud its judgment, the cost could be its life. In the end, the clever leopard decides to give up the meal. It refuses to take the risk. Before a tiger can arrive, it slips away into the forest. Greed often leads creatures into traps. Staying calm is the only way to find the right path out.